Good evening and welcome to The Upside. I'm Jonathan Oleski with J.S, and our show tonight is about to begin. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our two wonderful hosts, Beth Goldsmith, Chair-elect of the Associated Jewish Federation of Baltimore, and Dr. Scott Rifkin, publisher of J.S. Beth and Scott, take it away.
Thanks, Jonathan, and welcome again to The Upside. This is our virtual show brought to you by the Associated Jewish Federation of Baltimore and J.S Magazine to keep our Baltimore Jewish community informed during this time of uncertainty. We'll be coming to you twice a week with episodes you can view live on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. Each episode will tackle some of today's most pressing topics, feature some of the community's leading experts, and answer questions that are on all of our minds. Tonight, we'll be talking with two local independent retailers about the effect of the pandemic on business. Even before COVID-19, brick and mortar clothing stores were facing a changing landscape, with shopping shifting online, especially among younger generations. Since March, between shutdowns and safety concerns, retailers have been forced to reimagine their businesses in order to survive. So what is the market like for the small, locally owned independent retailer? And now that stores can open again, what is it going to be like to shop? Scott, would you please introduce our guests?
Sure, Beth, absolutely. But first, I want to take 30 seconds, okay? I saw something in the paper today that I want to make sure that we talk about. You know, the community is opening up. The governor is opening up the state. They're making all kinds of services more available. And at the same time, all through the south of this country, we're seeing a resurgence of the virus. And that's scary. And the professor at Johns Hopkins, who's been advising the state, actually came out today and said, I don't agree with the governor. We need to go slower. That's really interesting. So there's sort of a clash of political and medical opinions going on here. I would just urge everybody to stay really, really safe and continue to do the distancing and continue to wear masks and continue to feel that there's a risk from this virus. Don't get complacent with this, because Maryland could have the same resurgence that we see in Texas, for example. Okay. So anyhow, that was my veer off the subject, Beth, and I apologize. But I know if I waited to the end, I'd forget to do it. And I think it's really important. Anyhow, we're thrilled to welcome Eddie Steinberg, president and owner of J.S. Edwards, and Lauren Rutkovitz, owner of, now I don't know if it's a style studio or a style studio. So Lauren, you're going to have to help me with that. But for more than 35 years, J.S. Edwards has been the fashion address for fine men's apparel, voted best in Baltimore for 12 consecutive years. That's pretty amazing. And meanwhile, a style studio established more than 10 years ago has been offering cosmetics, clothing, and accessories for the fashion-forward woman. Both retailers have established strong, dedicated clientele thanks to their commitment to offering a high quality of fashion and combined with unparalleled service. I am the least fashion-sensitive human being on earth. I'm hoping to get educated here. I mean, if you couldn't buy it at a gym store, you know, I probably don't own it. So thank you guys for being here, and we'd love your thoughts. Beth, you want to go at the first question?
Sure, thank you. And I happen to know both of these people because I'm a shopaholic, and also my dad used to work for Eddie. So I'm going to start with Lauren. We'll do ladies first, and then Eddie, please jump in right afterwards. What do you want us to know as customers about the measures you are taking to keep us safe?
So first off, hi, how are you? I haven't seen you for a while and I miss you. So what we're doing is when you walk in our door, we actually put a table blocking the entrance to the door. So you can't walk just in. So if we're already seeing a client, or, you know, there's too many people in the store, it stops you. And right at that table, we have hand sanitizer. We actually have it in two forms. We have a great big station and then a little bit on the counter. And then after you sanitize your hands with your mask on, we allow you to come in. We're only letting 4 people in a time in the store. And then we only have 2 dressing rooms open. And they're across from each other. They're not the ones next to each other. So if you shop and you want to try on clothes, we have dressing rooms ready. And we also have a rack that sits in front of the dressing room. So we're trying to have as little contact as possible to make you feel comfortable. So we hang your clothes in your room for you to try on. And then afterwards, we like for you to put them on the rack. And then we take them in the back and steam them and keep them out of rotation for 24 hours. So hand sanitizer, face mask, cleaning, and then we have hospital grade cleaner to clean the floors afterwards, and Lysol to spray as well. So we're doing everything that we possibly can. And we are trying, we're very customer service oriented, but we're trying to have as little contact as possible right now. So we do have our customers hang up their own clothes afterwards. So that's been kind of fun.
Very good. Eddie?
At J.S. Edwards, we concur pretty much the same thing that we're doing in our store. We also do wipe down the counters frequently throughout the day, the door handles as people enter and leave, just be extra cautious. We do have a steamer if things are tried on. Steam that is over 200 degrees, which kills the virus almost instantly. And we also leave the clothes in the dressing room. Then they're hung up on a rack. We have signs in the dressing room telling the customers, leave it in there. We'll take care of it. We'll put gloves on, hang it up, steam it. So it's fine for the next customer. And we wait 24 hours. So we're taking all the precautions we can. Anything that's brought in that's been worn, we ask to be dry cleaned before it's brought into the store. So,
are you seeing an uptick of customers now that things are opening? Are you starting to see people coming back?
We've been open for about 2.5 weeks. We opened the day the governor allowed. It was Friday, about 3 weeks ago, I believe. So the first week was very, very slow. We are seeing an uptick. We're in a strip center and we're seeing more cars. We're seeing more people come to the center. We're seeing more people walking in the center. So as each week goes by, I think there's an increase of foot traffic in the center and in our store.
Very good. Lauren, how about with you?
So we were by appointment only, so we didn't really have a lot of foot traffic. We're actually in our shopping centers a little bit more quiet than Eddie's by nature. So the nail salon opened this week, and we actually are opening tomorrow for the first time without an appointment. So we haven't had a lot of foot traffic, but we have had some appointments, and a few people have asked to walk in. We are selling masks, so masks were on that table. We said that, block the door. So a few people have come and bought some masks, but not a lot of foot traffic yet, but we are seeing a little bit of people.
Do you think that certainly with less people going to work every day and less social activities, that has to have an impact on your businesses? But that's going to come back. Do you think, though, that people have changed the way they're going to buy because of this?
Well, I already see a big change. Our number one thing was selling denim with dressy, we call them Saturday night tops, going out tops. So nobody's bought a going out top since the whole COVID has happened. We've sold a lot of t-shirts, a lot of sweats, cozy comfort wear. I mean, I certainly hope it comes back. I'm kind of looking at this season as kind of just a very casual. We've canceled almost everything except for casual wear coming in for summer. So we're just hoping that by fall, people are ready to go out more. But I think right now we're gearing towards casual nights out. As things are starting to open, I just think everybody's mindset is slow and casual.
We've also seen, go ahead.
I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
We've also seen a drop in what we call our clothing, which is suits and sport coats, dressing with things. Obviously, the business guy is not going to the office as much or is not traveling as much. So unfortunately, there's been a lot of weddings and bar mitzvahs that we always would be the clothiers to, and that has been canceled. So it's cut dramatically into our what we call our dress clothing business.
It's funny. The other day I saw a guy in a jacket, shirt, and tie, and he was standing outside of an office in a pair of khaki shorts. with his shirt, tie, and jacket. And I, immediately knew this guy's working on Zoom. So, remember when suits used to come with an extra pair of pants? Now
Yeah,
they're going to
yeah.
need to come. Now they're going to need to come with a pair of shorts.
Just be glad he's wearing shorts, okay?
So speaking of that and what you have merchandise-wise, has this all affected your suppliers? Are manufacturers still making the same things? And has the pandemic cut into the availability of your inventory? Eddie, you want to take that one first?
Okay, sure. Absolutely. Manufacturers are really, really in dire straits. What has happened is most, as we had, and Lauren said she has also done, is canceled, 70% of our spring orders that were due to come in. So they came in February, early March. But for April, May, and June, we canceled everything. So if you imagine if you're a manufacturer and you had cut all this merchandise for order for stores around the country, and then all of a sudden they said, we're not taking it. What do you do with it? They're also had started, we normally buy menswear is a little longer time period than ladies wear. So we normally buy in January, and they already started cutting fall merchandise. So again, we're adjusting our orders for fall on the downward trend. As businesses drop considerably, we're planning down for fall. So all these manufacturers are going to be stuck with this merchandise for spring and for fall. As a matter of fact, it's starting to hit already. I talked to a manufacturer. We've been doing business. It's a small company, a sock company. But he told me he's shutting his doors. He just, he doesn't have any money coming in. Orders have been canceled. He's stuck with goods. He can't manufacture fall goods without selling the spring. So it's an unfortunate situation with retailers and manufacturers.
Lauren, how about you? Do you have, should I be coming in? Is there lots of new stuff?
So there is no stuff, but basically we've kept it to more casual because knowing what people want. A lot of things have been canceled, and what most of the brands did was they pushed out stuff. So, your March came in April, and then the April ended up, they said May, and then things were just canceled. And then, they've given new capsules is what they call them. So a lot of our main brands that we carry are getting more casual capsules to come in instead of like blazers and blouses. They're doing more t-shirt items, just more casual summer clothes. And I think that a lot of the manufacturers have completely canceled. So we don't really know what's happening in fall. I worked on it a lot today because we canceled most of what we wanted to cancel already. So now we're trying to figure out what the future's going to look like. And, every other person, some people said, oh, that order's been canceled. And some people said, yeah, we're getting it. We've changed deliveries. So nobody really knows exactly what's going to happen, but there's definitely new clothes. There's things to buy, and a customer will walk in and she'll say, what's new? And I'll say, well, everything's new to you. We've been closed for 3 months. So I think it's interesting how, everybody still wants to know what's new, what came in this week, but does it really matter? Other than the fact that some things are a little unseasonal already. And we do have those with deep discounts. So, 40% off of all jackets, all sweaters, all long sleeve blouses. The only thing that's retail regular price is the t-shirts and the shorts and the things that, came in at the end of, right before we closed. So it's all new.
So the last 3 months have been really hard on retail, no question about it. Were you both, and you were mostly closed. So I suspect you weren't eligible for the PPP programs, or were you?
Yes, we were, and we received it.
And we received it too.
So did you worry? I guess it requires, although I think they've just changed the rules, but I think the PPP required initially that the payroll continue. Was that workable for retail?
It was challenging because the initial ruling was 8 weeks. You had till the end of June to bring back your employees, exhaust 75% of your payroll to your employees. Well, we were closed, so why were we paying our employees for not working? The government really, it was one of the, I guess, monkey wrenches in the act that they didn't think about. So they extended it up to 24 weeks. So now you have 24 weeks to bring back your employees and it's only 50% of the PPP money you received has to go to payroll. It was 75-25 before.
And that works for you guys.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense.
Good, 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 good. It's nice to see that government actually made the right move with this. It's very nice. So what happened to your employees in the first 3 months?
Well, we have our employees in the first couple of weeks, because we were closed before we received the PPP. They were put on, on leave, and they collected unemployment until we brought them back.
And did they all come back?
So far, we haven't brought back every employee. One or two, their spouses have compromising issues, so they felt uncomfortable to come back, but they will come back. Yes.
Good, Lauren.
So mine's a little different. So one of my employees, who is Ashley, who runs my store, she stayed on the whole time, and I stayed on the whole time, and everybody else, unfortunately, had to go on leave, and they all collected, got to collect unemployment. And, the government gave that extra $600. So that was a little difficult in retail, because they certainly made a lot more money staying home than coming back to work. So it was a little bit of a challenge at first, but now everything is, going as it should be. And, with the extension of the PP, it greatly helps, that we can start to bring on people. And a couple of my women also, have children, and they have to homeschool, so they can't come back. So everything seems to be okay. But at first, with all the strict rules of the, of the loan, you had to bring back the same amount of heads, and you couldn't get all the money. So, but I think it's going to all work out fine now.
So assuming things open up now, it sounds like the two of you are not in great shape. I mean, you've been affected by this, but you're in a position to go forward. What happens if this goes on for another 3 or 6 months? What do you guys do?
Well, you adjust. I mean, you adjust unfortunately, you have to adjust your employees, cut their hours. You try to adjust with any type of expenses any business would. For Lauren and I, probably the biggest thing is merchandise, flow of merchandise, how much goods we need in the store. And that's the prediction that no one can seem to figure out. Will July be 50% off, 60% off? Will August be 50% off? In years past, at least we would have a plan. We would look at last year's figures and use buying guides against that also for the fall, where this year it's going to be very difficult, depending on how comfortable people are coming back to shopping. Obviously online has really taken off in terms of selling to the public. People have discovered online shopping, and it's definitely part of the future. Just a question: how much will people come back to the brick and mortar retail stores?
That's what I was going to follow up on. Thanks, Eddie, for mentioning that. How you have had to change actually the nature, the very nature of your business to be doing more online, and maybe you can talk a little more about what other types of shifts may be made, and then we'll pass it on to Lauren to cover that same thing.
Well, we've been, when we were closed, we did a video, we sent out emails telling our customers as Lauren does. Lauren has an excellent website where people can actually shop online. There's a shopping cart. We never had put in a shopping cart on our website. It was something that I talked about I'm a member of 12 other retailers around the country that we share information. And that was the big question: how fast we could put up a Shopify or a website where customers could go online and shop. We hadn't done that as yet. We're thinking about for the future. It is something where most retailers like us, you don't really do a whole lot of business. There's a lot of work involved, but it's something that's definitely probably going to be part of the future, where we have to let the customers be able to shop 24 hours a day. And the other things, we've been calling customers, mailing things out, curbside pickup. I mean, that could continue for a while. So, Lauren?
So we did build a website. We had one before all this happened. And then, we worked on it like crazy for 3 months, just loading everything that was in the store on the site. Our web business has dramatically picked up because we just had a web presence, but we had no business. So that did help get us through this. I would say that we're trying to train people because both of us, Eddie, are service-oriented business. I mean, very service-oriented. So we are getting people to go a little bit more online. And I would say that if there was an upside to all of this, if there was a little bit of upside, I like to look at the glass half full. It would be that hopefully we'll have a presence, because I get sales sometimes in Texas or Florida. So it would be nice to have somewhat of a web presence when this was over and still have our customer service. But, you said 3 to 6 months about business before. Like 6 months is like kind of unreasonable for me. Like 3 months, I figured the summer is always slow anyway, so we can weather that storm. I mean, 6 months is a long time, like if we had to go through this. And, I always say, I just encourage people, to shop online, to come back out. Like, we just want to see faces. I know people are scared, but, that's the way the small retailer is going to survive. I mean, the web business is great. It's a little perk, but, it's not enough to keep us all, going.
Very good. So it gets us to that point. You got to think that we're going to be in some level of people being careful and social isolation until there's a vaccine. And that vaccine is probably a year from now. So things are clearly going to be more open than they are now, but they're not going to get back to normal. Can you guys weather a not normal but reduced flow of traffic, for the next year?
Well, that's hard to say without knowing what the numbers will be. Could we weather 75% off for the next 12 months? Probably not. I mean, our rent factor would be huge against their cost of doing business. Is it going to be 50, 60? We're not sure. We're changing. And, we've always, fortunately, my wife and I, Diane, who works in the store also, have run a very tight ship where we never really had a lot of excess in terms of expenses. So we've been financially fortunate enough to be able to weather the many storms throughout 37 years, the recession, 09, the stock market crash. This is hard to say. This is a new era.
Well, I need to dress much better. So in the near future, I'm going to come in and you're going to make me look respectable. How's
Absolutely.
that?
Absolutely.
Lauren, I can't do anything for you, I'm afraid. I don't look good in women's clothes. So.
But you can come buy gifts. You can buy gifts.
Exactly.
Well, that's a good point.
You can buy gifts for women.
That's a great point, Lauren. Very, very clever. See, Scott, you can go shopping in a women's store. I'm sure your family members, I won't say exactly who, would be very happy if you were to do that.
I have tried that, Beth, over the years, and I will assure you that every piece of clothing I have ever bought my spouse or my daughter or anything else has been returned. So you don't want me as the customer. We need to bring them in themselves.
Well, we actually do, Scott. If I could take a moment and explain how the small retailer is part of the community. Lauren and I make up retailers being part of the community. The employees that are in our store, the dollars that come into our store stay in the community normally. The dollars that our employees earn, they're normally used within the Pikesville area. They live in Pikesville, they shop in Pikesville. I always say, it's very unfortunate, with Amazon, it's a great business model for the future and for now. And, I'm envious of it. But a lot of the larger stores have really hurt small retailers. Small retailers make up a good portion of this country's business. People don't realize that. And they don't realize how important the small retailer is. I give a perfect example would be when people shop in Target or Walmart, the president of that company, I doubt if he ever eats in Linwood's for dinner. I doubt if he ever goes to Maven Market to shop. I doubt if he's ever been to the Essen Room. The dollars that are put into Walmart, Target, large stores like that, Nordstrom's, they don't stay in the community. The dollars that come through our stores they stay in the community. Those dollars go to local businesses, local accountants, local lawyers, advertising J.Moore magazine, possibly, dollars that could go to the associated charities. The associated charities does not receive funds from Walmart or Target, I'm sure, but dollars from our employees and ourselves they're funneled back into that community. And that's so important for the community itself. Not only the dollars itself, but being part of the community, being able to give to the charities, being able to help the community. So, if there's one thing that's a lot of the public doesn't understand, yes, I agree. I'm just as bad. I'm going to go buy Home Depot if it's convenient. But just think next time, you need that blouse or you need that sock or you need that, whatever it would be, the can of peas. When you're going to Giant as opposed to the local market, those dollars are not staying in the community. They're just going outside the community. So,
and I would imagine, Eddie, is that the density of employees in those kind of stores is way less. The salaries are less, and the number of employees for the amount of sales is less. Is that a fair statement?
It is. I mean, Target are paying, if you're talking about the large stores, they're paying just about minimum wage or if not a little above. And, a lot of people don't even live in the area. So they're traveling out.
Scott and Beth, we have several questions from our audience tonight for Eddie and Lauren.
Go for it.
All right, so this is a great one that I'm confident both Eddie and Lauren are going to love this one. So this is from Facebook. For customers who aren't ready to come into your stores, how can we support your businesses? Are you offering gift certificates?
So yes, we are. We're offering gift cards, and if you purchase $100 gift card, we actually put $120 on that gift card. So we were doing that. We're also, of course, have the online store that we've talked about. But, you can look online because we really do put everything up every day, and you can still come for curbside pickup and we'll put it in the trunk of your car. So you can support by buying gift cards. And, I do want to say this, Eddie kind of touched on it. I just want to touch on it a little bit different way. The way you can support is people are coming in now, and because we're having like 40% off of a lot of things, because it's 90 days old, like we're well aware that it's 90-day-old merchandise, so we've discounted that. But as the new stuff is coming in, people are saying, oh, are you discounting that? Or why? Because we're in a pandemic, everybody's expecting everything to be discounted and on sale. So what I want to say to that person is, when you buy retail in a small business, and, the money that we make in retail is how we pay our rent and how we pay our employees. So if everything, the wholesale price or the sale 40, 50 off just pays back the vendor. So we will not survive if we stay on sale. Like, we're not going to survive. And, right now, I'm sure Eddie has a lot of stuff on sale as well. And, we need to move that merchandise out so we can in turn buy retail merchandise so we can stay open and pay our employees and pay our rent. So I just don't think that the customer necessarily knows that. And I know that everybody wants a bargain and, it's a tough time, but we won't survive if we only sell on sale because we're not getting it on sale.
Exactly.
Eddie?
The only other thing that we're doing also, matter of fact, I had a client a couple of weeks ago when we were closed and we FaceTime. And I walked him through the store and he said, I like this, I like that. And he didn't even have to come in the store. He gave me his credit card. It was shipped to him. He took probably 80% of what I shipped to him, returned the 20%. So it's another way that, people can shop really without coming in.
So great answers. Thank you. So here's an interesting question from a viewer tonight on Zoom. So the viewer wants to know, have you been able to negotiate with your landlords? Are they being helpful during this time?
So my landlord has been nice. We got deferred for the first month. And then when we got the PPE loan, we've been paying our rent. So we're, okay right now, like back to the 3 to 6 months. That'll be a whole separate situation. But, they were very nice in the beginning. And, that's where we're at.
We're with a very large company called Regency Centers. They're a REIT corporation out of Florida. I had written them a long letter when we first closed, telling them that we're the original tenant in Festival Wood Home. We've been there 31 years, and we're the only original tenant still left after year one. There were the only other ones there. But to date, they haven't made any type. We did ask for abatement for rent. We did ask for reduced rent. They just said there'll be no penalty at this time. They haven't made a decision. So we're kind of up in the air with it. But I don't think much is going to happen because, unfortunately, we're just a number to them.
Yeah, thank you.
Jonathan, you had another question?
No, that's all for the moment.
Good. So let's take a minute. And you've got a nice audience here. We're getting 1,000, 1,200 people that watch this on Facebook and live and where else is it? Twitter? Where are the other
YouTube.
venues? YouTube and all that sort of stuff that I don't tend to use, but people do. Lots of people do, and we get over 1,000 people. Jay Moore's got an audience of about 14,000 readers every year, every edition, every month. Take a minute and promote your business. Talk about anything you want, what you got for sale, what you want people to know about. Take a minute and sell to our audience. You're nice enough to come on. Please do that and give the contact information as well. Lauren, you want to go first?
So sure. So we have all of your casual dressing needs. We do have a big portion of our stores on sale at 40% off right now. We offer anything from a t-shirt to, a sweater. We have silk tops. We have some dresses. We have a lot of denim. And then, of course, we have a lot of t-shirts and sweatsuits going on right now. We have jewelry for gifts. We actually have a very large gift selection. I don't know that many people know that. We have great jewelry, actually, and beautiful scarves. So even if somebody doesn't want to shop for themselves right now, like I said, we could do online, we could do gifts, we ship. We ship most places for free. And, we're using all the appropriate things so that you will feel safe in our store. And we need you. We really need the customer to come in. And, I understand being afraid. It was hard to go back to work, for me. I was held up in my house for 3 months as well. So I think that, you can shop online, you can shop in person, and just come on in or give us a call.
Lauren. Great work. Give your phone number.
Oh, it's 410-484-1115. And you can reach me at Lauren at A Style Studio. And if some people have a hard time navigating the online, we found that a lot because we have a lot of mature clients. So you can call us anytime at the store. You can email, and we also FaceTime, like Eddie said, like we do the same thing. And we do live events once a week. Like we've been doing live, like Facebook Live or Instagram Live, where we have trunk shows. So you can just watch a trunk show, and then you can call up or, email us, and we'll get you your item as well.
When's the next one?
We don't have one planned this week. I know we just had one. We just had a big one, actually. It was great. We don't have one planned yet for next week. We do kind of do them last minute, within a couple of days, and we send an email. So also, if you want to be on our email list, just go on to our website, and there's a way to sign up for our email list. And we always email when we're going to do a live event.
Wonderful. Good job. Good job. Eddie, do the same thing.
Okay, so J.S. Edwards is a complete line of men's fashions, from suits and sport coats to dress slacks, dress pants, but we're also very casual now also. So we've increased our departments in jeans and sportswear and casual wear. We have a lot for what we call I call it leisure wear or active wear for people that are just working at home. Zoom wear. I have a lot of Zoom wear now. Comfortable clothes that you would like, Scott, that you can stay at home. You don't have to be dressed up. We're not just a dress up store. We have in-house tailoring. We have a tailor on the premise. We have a free gift wrap. Don't forget Father's Day is coming up a week from Sunday, next Sunday. So you can get your gifts and get a free gift wrap. And we have things that we're not, some people think we're very expensive. We have gifts from $25, or $15 socks, all the way up to very, more expensive things. We carry great lines like Peter Millar and Robert Graham and Canali from Italy. So we feel like we have some of the top lines in Maryland in terms of men's clothing. Again, we've been voted Baltimore's best. Actually, it's been about 15 years. And we were also.
You were being humble with the 11. Is that what
Yeah,
was going
yeah.
on?
I don't know. It changes every year. But as we were recognized as by Esquire magazine a couple of years ago as one of the top U.S. specialty stores in the country. So we're real proud of that. But we're proud of being part of Pikesville for 37 years and being part of the community. Being able to live, work, and shop in Pikesville, and that's very important to us. And our website is www.jsedwards.com. You can go on our website for a phone number, information. We do gift cards. We do mail at jsedwards.com. If you have any questions, we can always mail out packages and so forth. And again, I'd like to thank, first of all, Jay Moore and the Associated for hosting this. I think it's a great idea. I think the public feels that they're making more contact. It's important. It's part of the future. It's another way to see how the community is still coming together and staying close knit.
Well, it's official. The stores are open, retail's open, all that pent up demand. There'll be lots of parties where you get to sit 12 feet away from each other across a long table in the backyard, but you got to have to dress in something and look good. So thank you both for being here. Beth, it's all yours.
Yeah, well, really thank you. Not just thank you for being here tonight, but thank you, thank the governor, thank everybody for, as an absolute admitted shopaholic, I could not be happier that I have a reason to go out of my house. And I am back in Baltimore after being sheltered for 3 months in Florida. So I will be seeing all of the local small retailers. Eddie, thank you particularly for that beautiful description of how important and how multi-fold a dollar spent in this community is, how important it is to this community and the strength of the community. So I really hope everyone takes that to heart. So our next show on Tuesday at 12 is when we will be talking to Dr. Freeman Hrabowski, who I know Scott loves to regale us with fabulous stories, but apparently this is a not to be missed human being. He is the president of UMBC and an incredible person, an incredible personality. So please tune into that. Also, I want to remind everyone to join the Associated for its virtual annual meeting. It's next Wednesday, June 17th at 5:30. Special guests at our meeting are Governor Larry Hogan, acclaimed filmmaker and Baltimore's very own Barry Levinson, the Cardinal Sheehan and Krieger Schechter Day School Choir, and many other wonderful surprises. And just to tweak your interest even more, it's when I go from being chair-elect to actually being chair. So go to associated.org/annual meeting to learn more. And in the meantime, please continue to tune into our shows, and please go online to, sorry, my machine just closed on me. To Associated. I have 3 machines here today. Associated.org and jmoreliving.com for more information and stories and resources. And Jonathan, do you have anything else to?
You know what everyone in the community can really do to help Lauren and Eddie? Take this, if you're watching on Facebook, share it with your friends. Tell them that you have an opportunity to hear from 2 fabulous local Jewish retailers who are an important part of our community, and encourage all your friends to shop at their stores. That's how we can help them. So thank you, and good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.